Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Lubna from Higher Will, and we're going to be doing this Nothing But Love 21-day challenge. And the idea of this event is that for 21 days, no matter how anybody triggers you, no matter how anybody treats you or upsets you, you're going to do your best not to react. You're going to stop, try to think a little bit, and try and hold that feeling of love. And then think about how you really want to respond to them and then react. So you're not really reacting, you're responding. So for 21 days, we're going to be doing this. And to help you with that, we've got some guided meditations and 7 steps. And I'm going to also ask you to journal, but we'll talk more about that a bit later. So one of the first things is, though, everybody's doing these 21-day challenges. You see that with Oprah and Deepak Chopra and Tony Robbins. It's 21 days, 21 days. What's this magic number, 21 days? And the thing is that in the 50s, there was a doctor, a surgeon, Maxwell Maltz, who noticed that his patients, after they've had maybe facial surgery or an amputation, it took them around 21 days, took them around 3 weeks in order to get used to their new face or the new prosthetic. And so he got really interested about habits. What forms habits? And how long does it take to form a new habit? So he came to the conclusion that it's around 21 days. So that's where the magic number came from. But I'm now going to hand over to my co-host, David, who was ex-military with the US Army for quite a long time, for a very long time, and who is a basketball coach, to actually expand on that a little bit more. David?
Yes, thank you. Yes, I wanted to add, as Lubna just said, that my background is I'm retired military. I was in the U.S. Navy for 24 years. And I'm also a sports coach, from basketball to volleyball to track and field. I do it for a high school level and middle school level, and I've been doing it for about 15 years. And when I was approached about this event, it resonated with me because it's something that we have practiced in those type of organizations that I've been a part of. And I have had, military people or even athletes ask me, why do we practice like every day? And it's when you get into the habit of rewriting your subconscious, and then it becomes almost a natural thing. And as Lubna just shared, we have figured out that it takes about 2 hours a day if you're going to do practice of sports. 2 hours a day, every day. And then you start to see athletes start to change their habits without even knowing it, because they've been doing it every day repetitiously. So this practice that I have seen that a lot of people have been doing it, as was stated, from Oprah to Tony Robbins, and it is something that I have seen work. I even still do it for myself if I want to motivate myself for something that I'm not really have the desire to do. And I would start that practice every day. And before I know it, within a month, I'm doing it without even realizing it. It has become part of my journey. So this event, I thought it was a great idea to do, and I'm happy to be able to offer it to Internation's members. And I'm going to pass it back to you, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, David. So why nothing? That's why the 21 days. So we want to form new habits that serve us, that helps us to grow, and that actually release a lot of our negative feelings about ourselves, our stresses, and to turn them into something positive that actually benefit us. So growing up, when we're born, we have this fresh, bright new soul, and then we start taking on a lot of beliefs about ourselves. Now, some of those give us confidence. They're very empowering beliefs about ourselves. Others a lot less, the ones that really cause us the problems are the ones that are limiting beliefs. We have negative beliefs about ourselves, and these cause us pain. So when someone kind of bumps into them, whether it's consciously or unconsciously, we then tend to react. We said as children, we cannot deal with this pain. We cannot rationalize it. We don't have the tools to say, well, it's not us, it's them. Imagine, think of the very classic example of children very young children whose parents are divorcing. They think they've done something wrong. So the parents have to then go and talk to the children and tell them it's not them, it's just a situation. They love them both very much, etc. So as children, we take on a lot of these negative perceptions about ourselves. Mostly, very often it's inappropriate and it's, it's not done with any malice or the injury. But we end up having defenses to cope with these mechanisms. So when someone hurts us, we develop defenses in childhood to protect us until we're fully formed. But what happens, and I've seen this over many years with so many clients I've worked with, our defenses in adulthood end up becoming our prisons. We actually start attracting kind of very negative situations to us because our ability to cope or to see beyond that emotionally is limited. So I kind of thought a very good place to start would be to start, rather than, we can go back and deal with all the childhood trauma, which does actually need to be done at some point. But a very good place to start is actually just looking at how our defenses are structured. And often when you're being triggered, there's a lot of confusion that happens. That internally, there's a lot of dialogue. Is it me? Is it them? Did I do something? So I thought the best way to eliminate that dialogue is to take away that part. Is it me? And that is within our control. We cannot control what other people do, but we can have full control of ourselves and our own actions. So if someone triggers you, rather than just reacting without thought, stop. That's the most difficult part, is the stopping, okay? After that, it's downhill all the way. But when someone triggers you, don't react and stop and think about it. And I try and get that feeling of love. You can use the meditations I'll be offering for this event. There are loads of great meditations out there as well. You can use, if not these ones, anything that works for you, to bring that feeling of centeredness, of love in your heart. And if you cannot send them that feeling of love, and I appreciate a lot of people will have problems with that, hold the intention. You can hold the intention and send them that intention to love, okay? And wish them well. Now, this is about relaxing your defenses. It's not about relaxing your boundaries. It's about setting your boundaries in a way that is appropriate to where you are today. So your boundaries need to be reset from where you had them, and without really, subconsciously they've been set to defend you. So as an adult, you can relax those boundaries, because when your defenses are so tight, they're actually going to be your prison, and it's going to stop you from being able to have the right kind of experiences to attract the right people to you. So you need to reset your boundaries. So once you've held that feeling of love and you sent it to that person, it doesn't mean you let them walk all over you. What it means is that you can then take a more conscious, more adult decision from a centered place, and to say, okay, well, this is how much I'm willing to give to them. This is how much I'm willing. I don't really want them in my intimate space. They can stay there, but you can do it in a way that feels good for you. That way you do actually eliminate that aspect. Is it me? Is it them? So that's the main thing to doing this. Now, the other benefit to doing this exercise, the nothing but love, is that think of every time you're triggered, how stressful it is to you, and how much of your energy and your thoughts and your emotion and resources it sucks into you. you can spend a day or two worrying about this rather than spending that time creating something that you feel really passionate about, doing something that you feel is really benefiting you, and you feel just better in yourself. And we know, I mean, even science is now telling us the stress, the toxins that drop into our system from stress are incredibly injurious to our bodies, even physically. So it kind of makes a lot of sense doing this for, across the board, for your own inner well-being, for your physical health, for your mental health, for your emotional health, and for the spiritual connectedness that we all know we have with each other, but we sometimes struggle to feel. So that is really the why we're doing this, the benefits of doing this. And the mechanism is very simple. And as I said, the hardest part is to catch yourself when someone triggers you and not to just knee-jerk. Because these defenses have been with us for so long, our instinct is to knee-jerk, but try and not do that. And especially now with so many of the messages kind of with so much dialogue happening through WhatsApp and email and whatever, it actually is very conducive to doing this, because we can stop and think and center ourselves, try and feel that love, and then react. Okay, so it's about not just, sorry, I'm gonna re-say that. It's about not reacting, but responding. So reacting is a kind of knee-jerk. Responding is taking thought of what you're doing and then doing something that you're comfortable with. So we eliminate, and then you see how that person reacts to you. Okay, so then you, at least, if nothing else, you've eliminated the is it me, is it them, and all this dialogue that goes in your heads, in our heads and our hearts, backwards and forwards. We know what we're responsible for. Okay, so that's the benefits of that. And as I said, it's about relaxing our defenses, not taking down our boundaries. We relax our defenses in order to reset our boundaries to a place that's appropriate to where we are today. That's the main thing. So that is, yeah. So to watch out for, so I'm just looking at my notes, is relaxed defensive behavior in a way to really release your own internal boundaries. So you get to see yourself better. You get to see how you feel about yourself. Do you like yourself? Do you respect yourself? If not, what is it? And work with that. So, and then you're able to reset your boundaries with more spiritual intelligence and greater awareness. So that is the main premise. Do we have any questions about that? Anything that's really unclear? Anybody have anything to ask? Please, I can't see everybody, so you're going to need to raise your hand on the Zoom so I can see everybody. Yep. Okay. So in order, oh, Judith.
So I have a really good idea what the difference is between defenses and boundaries, but when I'm looking at someone else, but I will say that when emotions, come up, it is hard to differentiate for myself sometimes. So I thought it might be helpful to hear some examples about defenses, protective defenses, and what kind of boundaries you might replace those with.
Okay, thank you, Judith. Let me think of an example. Well, for instance, somebody you love close to you triggers you, okay? And the people closest to us can trigger us most because, we've given them a lot more trust, and there's a lot more at stake in terms of the reciprocation of the love we give, right? So somebody you love triggers you. Say, for instance, you're doing something in your work, you succeed, yeah? And the person that you really care about, rather than congratulating you and wanting to kind of make you feel good and you know, and meet you at the level you're offering, they say put you down. There's a jealousy there, for instance, yeah? Your natural defensive behavior would be to rebound and say, look, you know, I'm upset, and etc., right? But if you think of it more carefully, you kind of think probably that if the situations were turned and they were doing something, or when they've succeeded, you've been there 100% supporting them and making them feel good and cheering them up. So what's really hurting you is that they're touching on a pain, that the love that you're giving is not being reciprocated. There's a perception of that, yeah? So then if you react in an injurious way in your old defenses and your old boundaries, for instance, it's just going to escalate, because then they're going to say, look, you're being mean, you're horrible, you know, I'm trying to help you, etc., right? But if you break that cycle and you say, okay, well, take time, don't react, go away, try and just center yourself, try and feel that love in your heart, however you can do it. And then send them that love and just take a little moment, take an hour, 2 hours a day or two, however long you need. Don't say anything back to them. Then you can go to them and say, look, you know, why did you say that to me? You know, you can be in a much calmer space. But then you can think about where the relationship is and where you need to reset your boundaries with that person. I don't know if that's making sense, because you can then take a different approach to dealing with the problem. And you may need to accept at some point that maybe that I've outgrown that person, or if you keep doing the nothing but love. I wasn't going to say this session, actually. I wanted to know what your, but sometimes people just start changing when they see that you're no longer responding, and you're not giving them a handle to say, oh, look, you know, you deserved it. They start feeling shame and change, you know. They come back and say, well, actually, you've done really well, I'm proud of you, you know.
Just to jump in, so the boundary, just say that you responded with love, but the behavior continues, then the boundary would be to distance or set a boundary like, I'd prefer that you reacted in a certain way, right? That's the difference between the first and the second thing.
The boundary can be whatever you decide is right for you. So for instance, if, let's say hypothetically, you're in a relationship with a partner and that partner is really not responding to that, and they're just really wanting to be controlling and to use whatever means they can to control you. If you can't, at least you can see it more clearly. You know it's not you, because you know that your behavior is being appropriate, it's being loving, it's being centered, and you're not provoking anything. So then you can say, well, do I really want to be in this or not? I mean, am I okay with this person? Some people might just say yes, you know, that's up to you completely. So then you can see the situation more clearly, and you can take a decision or think, you know, actually, I don't need this. I'm better by myself than to have someone always holding me back. I'm better off exploring what I really love to do, doing my passions, being with someone who supported me and shared a lot more of what I love. You know, maybe this person doesn't, you know, fit that bill. Or you can kind of, the relationship can then go on a different level, and where your partner will make a similar adjustment because you've taken that initial step to shift it.
Thank you.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. I was kind of hoping you'd use the first example, but I think in the first example where it's just an acquaintance or a work colleague, it sounds like it's perfectly okay to set the boundary of distance if necessary. If you respond with love and you still meet the same kinds of jealousy behaviors, that then setting the boundary is perfectly okay of distance.
Absolutely. And what I mean, okay, again, I wasn't going to discuss this session, but we'll expand on this more next session. But my experience, because I've done this myself, I wouldn't be throwing this at you if I hadn't done it myself. So I have done it myself. And my experience was that the people who really are genuine about connecting, but there's been a lot of sandstorms in between, and you don't see each other properly, you know, and it calms down with that. And if they're genuine about wanting a connection, they'll come back and respond in a better way. And but then there are always the people who want to put you down no matter what. And what happens is their behavior, I've in my experience, started becoming more and more and more aggressive until it's so obvious that everybody around them sees it and they end up falling flat on their face. These people try to make you look bad, you know, but when you don't respond, they end up doing more and more and more to make you look bad until their behavior really, you know, in Tai Chi, they say you be like water, you just move out of the way. And they just become more and more aggressive till they fall flat on, you know, they expose themselves. And there's not much you can do about that. You know, that's their decision. You can remember, we can only control our behavior. We cannot really control. We hope to influence other people, but through raising their awareness or through talking to them or through whatever means we have, but we can't control anybody else's behavior. We can only control our own. But so that,
I have a question or something exactly relating to what you say. So I'm French and living in Berlin, Germany. I wish there is not too many Germans there, because what I'm going to say, they are making them a little bit stressed about me. Yeah, the thing is, in Germany, the people are nice, but example, you go somewhere, you see a secretary. If you are nice, so always what I do, I enter in the office, hello, good morning, with a smile, because it's my personality. And always they treat me like a nothing. If in Germany, mostly 90% of the time, if you come with a rude face and if you have a tone rude, you will get anything you want. And the employees or receptionist or doctor, even anything, they will be nice to you. But if you arrive nice, a smile and everything, they just treat you like a shit. Furthermore, my German is not perfect. Still, I do my very best to speak German. So that is in addition of the fact that I am a foreigner, but they are not racist. It's more than, okay, they treat me like already they wanted to treat me badly. And now that my German is bad, they think I am an idiot because I cannot speak good German. So I must to be an idiot to don't be able to learn German. So, okay, I'm French, and French is a really very hard language as well as German. Sometimes I want to ask them, hey, God, tell me whatever you want in French and let's see how you manage it, because they don't speak French. So
Celine, you should have come to our acceptance seminar. We dealt with that issue. We dealt with that very same issue. So,
okay.
So related to what you're saying,
yes,
I also found that this works if I'm going to a meeting that I know is difficult, or if I'm having problems with someone, I send it forward. So I send the love forward, I send the light forward to them before the meeting. And I kind of, and take the time to just center yourself, you know, so maybe they kind of feel you're trying too hard, and, you know, so just be you know, don't let it upset you so much. It's easy to say, but try the nothing but love on the receptionist.
yeah.
and send it forward to her, you know, and see how that happens. See what happens, just as an experiment. See what happens. There is I am going to ask you to journal. So this is a 21-day thing, and we'll be meeting on the 11th of August and then again on the 22nd. So that's actually a good time. I've put up resources. We'll be doing a meditation, but I'm going to share my screen. Hang on a second. Let me just get it up. Okay, so where's So share the screen. Yeah, here we go. No, here we go. We're here. So, okay, so this is the website, the event. So if you go to the Nothing But Love Challenge and click on resources, I've put up some stuff for you here. So first of all, we have the guided meditation, which we'll be running through for anybody who wants to stay. It's 10 minutes long. So I know most of you have a problem with very long meditations. Now, once you've done that 3 or 4 times, okay, so with guided meditations, if you are a practiced meditator, then just go and do it. If you're not a practiced meditator, which I know a lot of you here probably are not, then try and listen to it once or twice like a narration, like you're listening to an audiobook. Don't try to do the meditation, just listen to it like an audiobook and get familiarized with the meditation. Now, and then try and see how you feel around it, and you'll find yourself more and more drawn into it, and then see if you can do it as a meditation. But in the first instance, listen through once or twice as a narration, because it's going to be, I find that a lot of people, especially actually men, have more problems than women with this, to listen to a guided meditation and to actually feel it. But it's easier, I find, if I say to them, I find it's easier if I say to them, if you can, then just listen to it as a narration once or twice. Now, with regards to people telling me I can't stop thinking, I can't meditate because I can't stop thinking. Nobody can stop thinking. Nobody. I mean, if we can stop thinking for even a fraction of a second, we're doing great, you know. So don't worry about stopping thinking. In meditation, when we are talking, we are in what we call the beta brainwave, beta state. So in meditation, we go into the alpha, theta, delta, and gamma, the higher states. And you find as you go into the higher states, your thoughts take on a different quality. You do not stop thinking. Your thoughts take on a different quality. They're clearer, they're calmer, they're more serene, they make a lot more sense. The day-to-day chatter kind of drops away. So in the meditation, I do guide you through that. I take you down to so that your day-to-day thoughts just kind of drop down. You know, they just kind of sink down. The meditation, I put it on top of the mountain. So you just see your thoughts just sinking down, the day-to-day ones, and then the higher thoughts come in. So that's how that meditation is structured. Now, once you've done that a few times, you can just read this. So, and some people might just relate better to what I call the guided inspirations. There are quite a lot more of those in the meditation section on my off the website, which I'll show you in a minute. But then we're going to do the 7 steps to Nothing But Love. And I love, one of my favorite quotes is by a gentleman called Pierre de Teilhard. And he said, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We're not human beings having a spiritual experience. And this one is a take on that. It says, you don't have a soul, you are a soul. You have a body. And this was George MacDonald in 1892 said that. So the 7 steps to this are, first and foremost, catch yourself as soon as possible when you're triggered, and preferably before you react. Now, if you do react and before you kind of catch yourself, it's not disastrous. There's always an apology, whether it's, and then also apologize to yourself, forgive yourself as well. And so it's not disastrous, but it's not plan A. Plan A is to catch yourself before you're actually reacting. Next thing is you focus on bringing the light to your heart and connect to that feeling of love. And if you're too upset, which if it's something that really hurts, it may be too upsetting, leave it for a day or 2, but don't react. Just leave it for a couple of days. Allow that feeling of hurt to clear out a little bit until you're able to do that. Then, and if you can't connect to that feeling of love, you set your intention, set your mind to it. You can all do that. You can all set your mind to it. I know you can all do that. So allow that feeling to settle and expand in your being. And that's where you would really try the meditation to help you connect to that feeling and to allow that feeling to really grow. And you send it from your heart to theirs, okay? You send that feeling of love from your heart to them. And so if you, and then, yeah, if you feel that you've already done this, if you feel you did anything or you reacted in a way that you're not proud of, make a point, at least mentally, if you're not able to physically apologize and forgive yourself. And I'd like you to really pay attention to this. I've mentioned a few things that I've noticed doing this. So notice any changes over the next few weeks in you, how you're feeling about yourself, how you're feeling inside, and in the behavior of the people who triggered you. Are they becoming kinder? Are they becoming more aggressive? Are they backing off and just pulling away? Pay also attention to any physical changes, and I will explain that another time. And the next time I'll explain to you. Okay, I'll explain it now. It can shift your energy and you can feel it in your body. So pay attention. It can be subtle, so just pay attention to any physical changes. And typically, if somebody has kind of digestive problems, it can get better, it can get worse, things like that. If you're prone to headaches, just pay attention. And journal. I know many of you, and myself included, I'm going to include myself in this. I get very lazy about journaling, but it really is, it really is worth the extra, just going that extra step with it, because it really, you go back and it shows you patterns, which is what we're trying to pick up here. So do journal if you can, and it can lead a lot of really valuable information for you. Now, now I have an oasis section, there's a meditation section here. So there are more meditations here. You can try any of these. And there are also quite a lot more of the these ones as well. There's also, if anyone's interested, a library section here. So there's a lot of suggested reading from people who have, and viewings, and some research papers here as well, articles. So these are all kind of suggested things that you can be doing. And we'll take a couple of questions. Luz?
Thank you, Lubna. Yeah, congratulations, it's a lovely course. I was really, really taking what the coach said about meditation, because it's, for me, for example, it's easy, and I'm a achiever in my notes and exercises. It's easier to get the motivation, but it's so difficult because of my lack of emotional intelligence. Like you said, sometimes it takes days and days just to confront somebody for a small little thing. It takes days and days in my head, in my time, in my spirit. And I would really like to make equilibrium, you know, like where this can flow from within, and also just not be, well, the achievements are good, but then inside you feel alone sometimes.
So is your question about how to be able to follow meditation?
I think how to reach one flow, your spirit to flow internally and externally, because sometimes you can reach things and gain things and I don't know, awards or whatever, or courses or certificates, or your professional life, but then inside sometimes you get all, like I mentioned it, for some small little confronting that I need to tell somebody. It takes so many days to think what I'm going to say, and then probably I will say it all wrong and get more no good relations with that person again.
Right, so okay, there are quite a lot of things here. There's quite a lot of, but for the, why don't you start by trying this meditation? I mean, all the meditations that I do are designed to heal you, body, heart, mind, and spirit, okay? And including this one, by the way. So all the meditations that I do are designed for that. And as I said, if you said at the beginning you had problems really focusing on a meditation and following it, I would suggest to listen to it as a narration. Because just listen to it 2-3 times, like an audiobook. Because it can be very stressful, kind of feeling that you're having to be achieving something in the meditation and you don't know what it is. And that's not the point of the meditation. The point of any meditation is to allow your day-to-day thoughts to quiet just enough to allow you to connect your own higher self. That is where your richness will come from, not from any course. Or I do courses, by the way, and even my courses, I would say, it doesn't come from any course. It doesn't come from any guide or teacher. It comes from you. And any good course, any good guide will help you connect to your own self and your own wisdom. And that's how you gain confidence. The more you hear that voice, the more you know that this is what is really right. And it feels part of your own inner self. The more you're going to follow it and the more confident you're going to feel about it. And the other things kind of start to drop away. The other things actually are just a matter of practice, knowing what is triggering you and how to deal with it. And we give you tools to practice and to work with. I mean, that's what people like me do. So Luz, I don't know if that's finished answering your question. Oh, there you are. Yeah.
Yes, totally. Thank you so much. Yes, I feel really like it resonated so much. Like that's what I need to find. I really don't need to go everywhere looking. If not, start from within and then have the control one day.
Absolutely. One day very soon. Thank you, Luz. And Rosamond, you have your hand up. Rosamond? No? Okay. Anybody else wants to ask any questions? Celine?
Yes, sorry. No, I just wanted to say that I do meditation every day, and it's true that it's such a good feeling when you feel I see a lot of lights when I close my eyes, so it's wonderful. So really I recommend to everyone to do, because especially in Corona time when we cannot travel, I love traveling in my meditation. So it's really fantastic. And also every evening I write in my little book. And also I advise that. So I write 5 sentences of gratitude for what I do have already. So the birds singing or whatever. And then 5 sentences about something I don't have, but I want to have it. And I act exactly like if I have it already. So an example, I was doing my German test. And then I was, 2 months before, I was writing, I am so happy and grateful that I managed my German test. And guess what? I don't have the result yet, but I'm sure I did it because I wrote it so often that my brain was set it up that I do have it. So when I arrived on the test, it was so easy. It was like I was going there only for my signature or what.
Thank
so
you.
Easy. Yeah.
Thank you. Rosamond, you're back. Your hand is up. Are you?
She's on mute.
Yeah. Rosamond, do you want to unmute? We can't hear you. You're muted. You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, very good.
Yes. What I was saying is when someone tries to be a little bit aggressive or really aggressive with you, one thing I learned, and that is what I teach my client, breathing. Because breathing first gives you the oxygen into your body, into your brain, and into your heart. But as well, breathing can recalibrate your energy, your plan of energy vis-a-vis yourself and vis-a-vis your the person who is becoming aggressive. It takes few seconds, but breathing is incredible. It's a lifesaver.
Thank you, Rosemary. Yeah.
And I teach breathing, and for me, it's like that. I was able, as you say, we go through with people who come to us who are very, very aggressive. And sometimes we don't have the vocabulary, especially if you don't speak the English or whatever language, their language. So you become very confused in your mind. So breathing is like meditation, is a gift from the gods.
Thank you.
That's all.
Thank you. Anna?
Yeah, thank you. No, I was just saying, I was just kidding that it's not the right timing because everybody are on holidays in Europe. So all the triggers are left, at least at work. So because I'm based in France and all my colleagues are on holidays, so I don't know on whom to train it. But anyway, no, my question was mostly about the people who are manipulating. So the things we are seeing, and it's clearly manipulation, and you don't know how to react. And sometimes at work, which is the most difficult, is the conflicts at the work that people are really triggering the emotional part, and you know that you have to deal with them because it's your work, you have to deliver the results. So I would say,
okay. So Anna, this is your homework. I want you to do the Nothing But Love, and on the 11th of August, come back and let us know if you've noticed any changes. How about that? And as I said before, I have used this myself for to send. I'm actually going to mute everybody because sorry. Yeah, I've used this myself for meetings that I know are going to be difficult. I actually recently paid some people money to do some work for me, and they were not delivering, and he was being a bit weird on the WhatsApp. So I sent I did send light forward. I kind of thought, okay. And then the next day he was a no-show, and I still sent this forward to him. And then the third day he was no-show, and then I basically, was eligible to get my money back because the guy just didn't show up. That's one kind of when there's no real intention of meeting the contract. It kind of worked out for me because I was able to just start again with somebody else, and it was fresh. So it really has been, it's kind of does work out. It really does. And if nothing else, you go there, you're not defensive. You're there, you're centered, you can see the situation really clearly. You're not coming from a place of kind of stress and anger, which in itself, the other people are going to read your energy and react already in a defensive way. So already, if you're going to be in a difficult kind of situation, you turn up to a meeting stressed and defensive, they're already going to sense your energy or demeanor. People pick it up, and they're already going to be on a back foot, and they're going to be already kind of defensive or aggressive with you because they think you're going to be that way with them. So when you go there, you're centered, you're calm, and you're reasonable. The vast majority of people are not mean. The vast majority of people are quite decent. They don't want to see themselves as being the horrible one. So most people are going to be more responsive to you in a way that is more harmonious. Most people don't want confrontation. So if you go there, if you go to a meeting and you've already sent the love forward and you're feeling okay in yourself, your demeanor, you're already going to show up to a meeting in a way that has your demeanor already in a good place. You're open, your energy is open, you look more friendly, you look more approachable, you look more reasonable. Like they can tell you, look, we have this problem. I'm really sorry. We know it's not your fault, but we have this problem. And you can deal with that. These are things you can really work with. But if you go there stressed, they're not going to tell you that because they don't think you're going to be reasonable enough to discuss it with. It changes a lot.
Could I say something? Can I add something to that?
Of course.
I wanted to add that one thing that we have a power over is ourselves. And I think that everyone who's here wants to take on this challenge to do this nothing but love, because maybe there's something that we are doing that's giving us the opposite, which has become our practice. And we're trying to modify that practice. This is why we are here, to take that, maybe that one practice that we have and change it where we can be more approachable and be in a state of being of the person that we want to be. And when we say nothing but love, is the state of being of that. No matter what comes across your plate, you still have your boundaries, you still have your acceptance, you still have all the things that are of your values, but you're not letting anyone else externally navigate you in that direction or where you don't want to be at. And I think this is why this challenge is a great challenge for us to do, and it works. I'm a believer of it, and I believe that we are here to find that practice or that challenge that we can do to modify that, maybe that one behavior that we may have. Thank you, Luke.
Thank you, David. Very good point. Thank you. So I think now we're going to be wrapping up. So I'm going to, we'll do the meditation now. So if it's about 10 minutes long. So if anybody doesn't want to stay for the meditation, then you're free to leave. Otherwise, I'll read it to you, actually. I'm not going to play you the one that I recorded. I'll just read it out to you today, right now, without the music. The recording has music in it. I hope everyone's okay with that. And I'll read out to you the meditation, and we'll do that now. So if anybody wants to leave, please feel free to leave now. Otherwise, sit comfortably. Just make sure you're really in a comfortable place. And as I said earlier, if you are new to meditation and you think you have a problem following a guided meditation, listen to it like a narration. Just close your eyes and just listen to it. Do the beginning parts. The beginning parts are very easy. It's just telling you how to breathe, how to sit comfortably, just to kind of connect a little bit with the earth, to connect a little bit, with the universal love, and just kind of try and follow the first bit, and then listen to the rest like a narration. You don't need to try and just be in the meditation, but just relax yourself. So everybody, take a moment to just sit down comfortably. And now close your eyes and relax your breathing. So take a deep breath in and a long, slow breath out. And again, take another deep breath in and a long, slow breath out. And pay attention to your shoulders and allow them to drop and relax. And then to drop and relax some more. And feel that tension just rolling away deep into the earth. And watch your thoughts as they come and as they go. And allow them to gently fall away and dissipate. Now you're sitting in a clearing on top of a mountain. There are pine trees all around you. The air is fresh and pure. There's a slight breeze. It's perfect for you. Breathe deeply the scent of pine and feel your breath circulate throughout your body. You feel completely at ease, at home. Your day-to-day thoughts are way below. See how your thoughts here are calmer, slower, completely serene. Now take your attention to where you're in contact with the earth. See roots go deep into the earth. Deeper and deeper they go towards the center of the earth. Check to see if your roots are stronger on one side of your body or the other. And as your roots go deeper into the earth, feel the earth's pulse beating slowly, and feel your heart beat in rhythm with the earth. Now take your attention to the crown of your head and extend that energy there upwards. Send that energy higher and higher, past the surrounding trees, up through the Earth's atmosphere, and set your intention to connect to the highest source of love. And as you do that, feel it coming to you, welcoming you home. Now feel a golden energy coming down from this highest source of love, filling your body with light. And feel that light coming through your body into your toes, into the soles of your feet, up through your legs, and filling your whole pelvic area with this golden light, healing everything it touches. Feel it as it goes further up into your abdomen, regenerating your organs and your digestive tract. It goes further up, filling your lungs and strengthening your immune system. And it flows down into your arms, filling them with light and bringing warmth into your hands. Now allow this light to flow up into your neck, helping you to speak with kindness and clarity, and to listen with understanding. And the light fills your whole head, allowing you to let go of old beliefs. These no longer serve you. This light regenerates your thoughts and every part of your mind. And this light keeps flowing into your body until your body is glowing. Now allow the golden light to flow straight into your heart. It keeps pouring into your heart and filling it with love. See old hurts, old injustices, old defenses melt away into the earth, where the earth recycles that old pent-up energy. Now feel your heart expanding, getting larger and fuller. Keeps getting larger until it encompasses your whole body, until it fills the room you're in. Now see the person or people who triggered you in a comfortable distance away from you, ahead of you. Hold the intention to give them love. And then send some of that love in your beautiful heart to them. Hold that feeling for a few seconds. Wish them well and allow them to go with grace. And then see them fade away. Bring your attention to the clearing where you're sitting at the top of the mountain. Your heart full and your mind peaceful and serene. Breathe the pure air deeply. We give gratitude to those who trigger you for giving you the opportunity to heal. And give gratitude to the earth for the nurturing and abundance she always offers us. And gratitude to the highest source of love for the constant guidance and care. Take another deep breath in, and as you breathe in, allow your thoughts to follow the scent of pine and bring your awareness back to the room. And welcome back. In your own time, open your eyes. So thank you everybody for coming today. And just to remind you, the resources are in the Higher Will website under events, and there's a resources button with where the Nothing But Love event is, and you can find them there. And we look forward to seeing you again on the 11th of August for the middle session, for the part 2. So thank you very much.